Hello, good morning, everybody. Monday morning. I am a couple minutes late. I apologize for that. If anybody who's watched this live stream knows, I have a couple of small kids, and small, 7 and 9. One of them did not want to go to school this morning. Shocking. So it took a little bit of coercing to get him out the door, but he is officially out the door. Oh, he's about 12 minutes late. They're supposed to leave at 8 o'clock. It's 8:12 right now, so he was dragging his feet for sure, getting out of here. Let's see. We got the Nasdaq up. First of all, we got a ton of subscribers over the weekend. Thanks everybody for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, thank you, and really a big welcome to you for coming this morning. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of these guys. I say it every morning. There's a lot of these guys doing this in the morning. I appreciate you choosing this channel to check out, and I hope you find it enjoyable, entertaining. As always, I need to say this is all for entertainment purposes. You should not copy my trades. If you copy my trades, you will most likely lose money. I lose money all the time. I would feel horrible if you took one of my trades, you lost a bunch of money, and that could really be I don't know, not good karma. Not good karma for me. I just wouldn't want to see that. A lot of what I hope you get out of these live streams is the technical analysis aspect of it, watching somebody trade live, and the community aspect of it. Now, the live trading part, you can just see the struggles of it, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people can relate to how different traders, how all traders kind of go through the same again, struggles. And so, yeah, just trying to build a community of like-minded people. Another thing which you're going to see up here today, we've got our cash value up. I am doing another Apex evaluation this week. So today is day one of the $25,000 Apex. I did pass a $50,000 one 7 days ago, a week ago, I guess. I'm waiting. I've got to trade the 10 days. So I guess today is going to be my 9th day. So I got to trade today and tomorrow on it. And then I'll get the funding through on that. So we'll trade that one in the live stream too. What I decided to do is only trade evaluation accounts in the live stream for the time being. So I want to be upfront and transparent about that. This is an evaluation account through Apex Trader. So if I make $1,500 on this account, they will give me a quote-unquote $25,000 funded account. I passed one 8 days ago again for a $50,000 one. I've got to trade 10 days on it, so I've just got to take little scalps on it for the next a couple days, and then it'll take it a couple days to get set up, I'm assuming. And actually, Apex is pretty quick. Apex will set it up in like 24 hours. So I don't want to trade live real capital on this thing anymore, mainly because I don't want to take a big loss. And live trading is such a psychological mind game that if I lose this, if I blow up this account at $75, I mean, I can lose $75. It's a learning experience, right? That's market tuition, no big deal. I can bounce back from it. But live trading, there's a certain psychological component to it. It's just another mind. I don't want to say fuck. I don't want to curse on this thing, but it's another mind game that I'm still learning how to not deal with, but learning how to overcome. So it's actually really good for me to live trade. It's just it helps me keep those emotions in check and to really just focus on the trading. So I typically don't like to have my cash value up, because I don't like staring at that thing. But for this, since it's an evaluation, we're just going to have that up. We're only going to be trading one contract. Normally, I trade 2 contracts. Normally, I do the $50,000 evaluation. Well, that's what I've done in the past. I'm only doing the $25,000 one today because I've only been trading one contract on the live stream. And if I'm trading half the size of what I normally trade, which is 2 contracts, this is actually a better, I don't want to say a better deal, but it's more advantageous to the trader because, on the $50,000 one, I get $2,500 drawdown. This one, I get $1,500 drawdown. So it's actually like getting $3,000 drawdown on the 50K. I'm not going to go too much into that anymore, but just let everybody know I am doing the 25K evaluation. We have a $1,500 drawdown on it. and a $1,500 profit goal on it. So hopefully we don't blow up the account. I'm not even really too worried about getting the account, because I've already got one, but I don't particularly want to blow it up on the first day, you know? So we're going to do our best risk management here on it. If anybody else would like to do one of these Apex Trader evaluations, I'll pin the coupon code here. I pin it every day, but you still get 50% off of it. So like this thing only cost me like $75 to do. And again, if I lose $1,500 a day in the evaluation, it's better than me losing $1,500 of my own money, right? So I'll just post this discount code, Apex Trader discount code, 50% off, and then we're going to jump in the technicals here. Okay. I'll just pin that up at the top. All right, let's get into the markets now that we got that out of the way. All right, technicals, man, I'll tell you what, this thing is just hating life right now. We look over here at the weekly. Cool. Yep, you can use micros on it too. I think on this particular one, I can use 20 micros, 4 contracts, 20 micros. If I were to open up my own account using 4 contracts, I would need at least $5,000 because it's $1,000 margin to trade in one contract, and then you're going to need some drawdown room on that, so it'd be another $1,000. So this is like, you know, using $5,000 of your own capital, but it's only $75. Anyways, let's get into this market here. These are weekly candles. Look at the last 4 weeks on this thing. Holy smokes, this thing is in a bear death spiral. I mean, this thing is just tanking here. All of these are such bearish candles. Look how we close at the low of the week each week here. You see that? And last week is no exception. The one thing I will say about last week is in pre-market or in the overnight session, we've already broken last week's low. You can see it here. To me, that's a super bearish sign, and that's opening up the downside here. My target on this thing is 12,000. I am long SQQQ. SQQQ is an inverse ETF on the Nasdaq, so it's actually a bearish one. So I'm biased here that I'm rooting for it to go down, which I hate to say. Eventually, it will go back up, right? Eventually, it will go back up. But I think for the next couple months, we're going down to 12,000. I mean, I hate to even mention the word 10,000, so I'm just going to say 12,000 right now as my initial target, and then I hope we see some sort of bounce off of that. But we can see this down channel here forming, opening up the 12,000 level. At least 12,500, I think, is on the table right here. We can see that band on the weekly. I do use 20-period Bollinger Bands. I'm really looking at the 20 SMA, but I like the Bollinger, the bottom of the bands and the upper end of the bands as take profit areas or target areas, areas where price might bounce off of. So if I'm shorting this thing, like right now, I think 12,500, we can see how that's opened up perfectly. That would probably be my target price where I would expect to see a bounce, and I would probably want to be getting out of my position instead of giving money back to the market. So I can see that there on the weekly, and I just wanted to point that out real quick. All these bearish candles coming down, closing near the weekly lows each week. Last week, we did see what was an attempt of a couple moves up. We can see that here, you know, a couple green candles. Again, not every day is going to be a red candle in this downtrend. We are going to have some green days. Don't let those green days fool you that the market's finding some sort of support and is now going to rally to all-time highs. That ain't happening. All-time highs is off the table, I think, for a while. But we are going to have some green days, and I think, you know, these two here were on earnings, and I can't remember who exactly reported earnings, and I mean, I know who reported earnings last week. It was Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. One of these was on Microsoft, which reported good earnings. Apple also reported good earnings, but they gave weak guidance for the following year, talking about supply chain issues. Alphabet, Google reported disappointing numbers. So did Amazon, which is really tanking this thing. And that is coupled with inflation and rising interest rates. It's just brutal for the Nasdaq right now. And coupled to that, we're just been on a tear for so long. It's time for this thing to come down. it cannot sustain this sort of, I mean, it would be at, 50,000 in a couple of years. I mean, it's got to come down at some point. So it's just the way the market works. And so we are going to, we're seeing this rotation to the downside here. I can even see here on the daily chart, price opening up to 12,500, 12,600 here on the daily. I think, it's not impossible to think that it would drop down to 12,500 today. But I don't know on a Monday if it's going to have the gas in it to do that. We do have some earnings this week. There's not going to be any big ones moving the Nasdaq. Look up at the economic calendar. I probably should have looked at this stuff first, but I didn't. Let's look at an economic calendar real quick. So we looked at the bird's eye view there, what's going on with the Nasdaq. Again, I think we're in this bearish down channel. We see the market opening up to the downside. This is an economic calendar showing us what's getting released this week. You can adjust some of these filters. Where's the filter? The one that says filter. But United States, medium, that's fine. Okay, so this is what we got coming out this week. ISM, and if you click on it, it'll tell you what it is. Manufacturing employment, ISM manufacturing PMI. It's coming out this morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. That might spike the market. You might see price spiking around. You probably want to be flat around that at 9 this morning. You probably want to be flat. Again, you probably want to be flat at 9 a.m. as this economic data dump of ISM stuff comes out. It's mostly manufacturing, so it's not really going to concern the Nasdaq too much, but you may see price moving around a little bit. Today's a UK bank holiday. Thank you for saying that. That will also impact today. This means there's probably going to be less volume in the market. Wednesday, ADP employment change, that's going to be big. That's going to be a precursor for this is not giving me the whole week, which I was like, man, there's not a lot of stuff coming out this week. Precursor for what's coming out on Friday, guys. NFP's coming out on Friday. 380,000 consensus. Previous was 431. So they're looking like the consensus is that it's going down. This is a big market mover, and you'll see the market really moving on Friday. FOMC Wednesday. We got FOMC on Wednesday. Not the best week to be doing an evaluation. It's just because there's going to be FOMC is wonky. Wednesday will be wonky. I would maybe trade the early session on Wednesday and then cut it and not trade the afternoon, because this thing will be moving the market around. But if you're bearish on the Nasdaq, even if you're bearish on the Nasdaq and FOMC and the Fed comes out and says, look, we're going to be aggressive on interest rates and we're going to be cutting them, the market's got that priced in. So any sort of dovish statement from the Fed, anything, will send the Nasdaq screaming up probably short term, only to then fall again later on. So I think the market does have the interest rate increases priced in already. It's got its direction where it wants to go, 12,000. It's on that course to get there. Again, there may be a comment here or there that might send the thing popping up, but I think that, the writing's kind of on the wall for it of pulling down. So let's look now at shorter time frames. There's one other thing. I was going to look at earnings this week. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all this stuff super quick. So I apologize if this is looking too scattered here. But the big things are the economic calendar stuff. 9 o'clock this morning, we want to be flat. Factory orders and then we've got employment and FOMC later on in the week. So that's something we need to keep in mind moving forward. So let's look at what we got going on right now. Let's look at the hourly chart. Try to draw out some levels. We can see here all that selling that came through Friday afternoon. This is a weekly volume profile. All that selling that came through on Friday afternoon. Super bearish, close at the lows of the week. This red line here is last week's low. It's actually a little, not quite there, but it's last week's low. Market opened last night, made a slight move up, and then this big bearish candle here as really, I think some of the U.S. traders started to get involved in the market. pushing this thing down. We've hit the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. It's finding support on that. The bands on the 1 hour are pinching in. That shows me that perhaps price may want to make a move up. We are now starting to move into this higher volume node on this weekly volume chart, volume profile. But you got to remember the weekly volume profile has only been generating since last night because it's just when the market's open. So this is really just an overnight volume profile at this point until later on in the week. Let's see here. I've got this high up here, marked out up here at basically 12,980 up to 12,300 probably. What we can see is we've got the band here on the 1 hour, the upper band, which is 2 standard deviations away from the 20 SMA because this is a 20 period Bollinger Band. This will probably pinch down here. I suspect down into like the 13,000 area. And what we might see is an impulse to the upside here, and it would find some resistance up here. What the Nasdaq has been doing each morning is making that impulse up in the first couple hours, and we saw that all last week, and then within a relatively short amount of time we tank. I mean, this was, I believe, Friday. Same thing. We made the move up and then tanked. I wouldn't be surprised if we did the same thing, made a move up and then came back down to test these lows down here. So that's kind of what I'm going to be anticipating, looking for price to move up. I'll probably just sit on my hands for a while, particularly till 9 o'clock until these numbers come out. I don't want to get involved in anything too soon. Maybe wait for price to come up into this zone here, and then I'm going to wait for some bearish structure to start forming and anticipate a very similar situation what we had on Friday, where we get the move up and then the big tank down. Same thing, kind of over here. I need to get the times on this correctly. I don't want to give you guys any. See, that's not it. 30. This one just came down. They came up wonky. This was Friday. So anyways, I'm anticipating this area up here being resistance. Price may want to test 13,000 and then she tanks. But again, 9 o'clock, we're going to have to just sit on our hands. What do we got going on shorter term? I'm going to talk about this Wiseman fractal thing here in a second. Shorter term, I'll take this off. So we're trading 1 contracts on an Apex 25K evaluation account today. This is interesting to me. We've got this red line is last week's low. I had that drawn out here. The red lines, red horizontal lines will show up on all my charts. The blue trend lines, rays, will not show up on all my charts. We've got market just open. You can see the session volume profile starting to generate. Again, I'm not going to trade the open. I'm going to wait for that 9 o'clock data dump to come through. We are red on the day, negative on the day, right? Negative on the day, but it's recovered quite a bit. We were negative almost 1% down here. We now have bullish delta coming in. This delta structure is now bullish. This is time and sales data coming right up to VWAP. Delta did turn positive there, but we were down negative almost 1,400 down here, delta. So one thing that I do look at when I'm trying to get my bias is I'm coming over here looking at higher time frames like the daily or the 4 hour. And I'm trying to see where the overall market conditions are. And of course, I have a bearish bias on it overall. That does not mean that some days are not going to be green, and that does not mean that the market will not move up some days. It will. Just like anything, when we're in a downtrend, we're going to have some green days. Just like when we're in an uptrend, we have some red days. So it's not that every day is going to be a red day. But I think the overall market direction is pointing to the downside. 12,500 is kind of where I'm seeing it wanting to go. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, who knows. But right now, what I do is when I come in, I look at where we are in the morning. We are negative on the day already. We're right at VWAP. So, I look to see if we're above or below VWAP in the morning, and then I also look at cumulative delta time and sales data. This is showing me aggressive buying or selling, and I'm seeing if we're negative, positive. If I come in the morning, when I saw it this morning, we were down almost 1%, and we were negative 1,200 delta, way below VWAP. I was like, oh man, this thing's going to tank. But pre-market's pre-market. Price is going to move around pre-market, do what it wants to do. We can see this 20 SMA here on the 1 hour holding pretty well. I think that if price got above this resistance area or even, this resistance area up here, over here on the 1 hour, I think we would maybe see this pop up into here. blow that up a little bit, where we had, you know, price pushing off of this. 20 SMA is held pre-market. If we can clear this resistance level, I think there would be a pop into here, which doesn't look like much, but it's 40 points right there, which I think you could probably pick up pretty quickly. You know, maybe even only 20. Maybe you want to get at value very high, but you could get that 20 points. Although I personally would not take that trade. I would wait for price to come up into this resistance area and then wait for bearish action to take a trade on it. So, see if we can find some support. That if support broke, I mean, it's looking, to be honest, it's looking a little overextended to the downside. I think that it may want to try to come up a little bit and get some air before it takes another run to the downside. So again, we've got this stuff coming out at 9, ISM, manufacturing, PMI, all that stuff. So we will wait for that. And then probably take a trade around there. It's really hard for me not to trade the open. I want to talk about the Wiseman fractal real quick. It's really hard for me not to trade the open. I just see price moving around so quickly going into these areas. Like we're up here at VWAP. I see Delta dropping. You know, I'm like, oh man, this looks like a short. It looks like a short. But I'm not going to take it on the open, particularly on a fresh new evaluation account. Nice fresh evaluation account. Again, I'm just trading the evaluation account down there for the live stream. When I get off the live stream, I may switch to a different account. But for the live stream, I don't know. There's a certain psychological aspect which cannot be understated when you're trading in front of a bunch of people, and you can do things that are a little bit more irrational, or things that maybe you wouldn't do on your own. Like for instance, cutting a loser quickly, you know, taking the loss, taking the red day, taking a $500 or $600 red day when you're by yourself. Yeah, it stinks. But when you're doing it in front of a whole bunch of people who are kind of tuning in to watch, you know, trading, and they want to see some fireworks or whatever, how well you can trade. Sometimes you'll hold on to that loser too long, or God forbid you add to that loser, and then that small $500 or $600 loss all of a sudden becomes $1,500, $1,600, $2,000 loss, and you close out of everything. You close down the live stream. You close down, you know, all the stuff, and you walk away being like, God, what just happened? You know, you feel like you were taken over by some foreign alien entity. No, I don't know. But you kind of lose your mind a little bit there. Now we can see here that short coming through. Nice big drop there off of VWAP. This is another way I use cumulative delta. We see these support and resistance levels, and then we watch delta, how delta is not making higher highs. We're making lower highs. And that's just delta. I wouldn't say delta divergence. If you saw price move higher, then that would be delta divergence, where you see price moving higher, but delta moving lower. That's delta divergence. And that typically signals that the price movement is false, and that you would want to be trading the opposite way. Let's look at our poll today, guys. We have bullish 34%. We're almost even on all of this, which is surprising. We've had 35 votes. I appreciate you guys voting. About even. I'm bearish overall. I talked about that just a second ago. We can see this thing moving down now. But it's not to say that we're not going to have some green bullish movement, and particularly on the Nasdaq, it can move so quickly. I keep forgetting to talk about the Wiseman fractal. Okay, so let's talk about Wiseman fractal for a minute. This is an indicator that I talked about on Friday. I've been getting a ton of emails about it from Ninja Trader. And I was reading it wrong on Friday, so I want to correct myself. I came in thinking that the red down arrows were giving a bearish signal, and that the green up arrows were giving a bullish signal. That seems to make sense. Am I right? Would everyone agree with me that that makes sense? That if I have an indicator up that's pointing red and pointing down, I should want to go. I should want to go, bearish. But it's the opposite. So this is actually a bullish signal, and this is a bearish signal. One thing I will say is that when I was trading on Friday, one thing that I saw, I had it up, but I wasn't using it. It seems like it would be a good indicator to use in a trending market. So when you've got your bias going on, like over here, when we really started to sell off on Friday afternoon, it gave a couple false ones here. You would have been stopped out on these as price broke higher here. This would have been a stop out, and then this one over here also would have been a stop out. on these two, because you can see you would have, you got this bearish signal, a nice bearish candle, you short it as it breaks lower, and then you've got to get out as it breaks higher, and that's just where your stop's got to be. So those two would have been a stop. This one would have been obviously a nice winner. And then as price really started to go down, well, this one would have stopped you out too right here. I don't know if I would have got in on a green candle. You can see where it provided some areas for entry, particularly in a trending market down. Now, the bullish signals here all would have been obviously stop outs. You could have picked up something on them. I mean, I wouldn't use this by itself, like all indicators. I would use it with other just basic technical analysis. Yeah, I know you were telling me zero. You were totally telling me. I was ignoring you. I don't know, or maybe I thought I was reading you wrong, or I didn't want to read the 3-paragraph article that I pulled up on Wiseman Fractal. So, it showed you where my mind was at. But anyways, I've been getting a massive amount not a massive. Oh, look at price now, really tanking down through lows. It's I think you could use it with something else. Like if I saw, like here, price moving up to VWAP, to the upper band here, you get this reversal candle. It's just one more thing maybe to confirm a trade that you were already thinking about taking. Or again, trying to find an entry in a trending market where it's so difficult to find those entries. You don't want to short the bottom of it as it's dropping. But you're looking for those pullbacks to get in on it, and perhaps you could use this as one of those ways to get in on a pullback. It's bouncing off of something down here, but I don't give this much credence. You can see Delta not moving up. Its price is moving higher. Delta's not moving lower. We're coming into the upper band here on the 500 volume. Man, I'd like to short it here too, but I am going to wait for that stuff to come out at 9. If you like this stream, I remind you giving it a like. If you're finding any value in all that stuff that just came out of my mouth about where I think markets are going, give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to end the poll here. We've got a 44% bearish bias, 27% bullish bias. I'll leave the poll up for a little bit. If anybody else wants to jump in on this, I mean, it's not hurting anything to have this thing up. If I can figure out a way to get off my screen. Oh, there it goes. All right, I'm gonna go start looking at questions. Everybody's got a question, you can post it in the chat thing. Trying to answer it. I thought about shorting it here. I'm glad I didn't. It's just so choppy on the open. Although I thought about shorting up here, and I wish I did. I mean, that would have been a fantastic short. How far did that thing drop? How much did that thing drop? Let's say you shorted at 870. Oh, am I reading that right? 130 points right there. That's what the Nasdaq can do. How is the Wiseman fractal calculator? You got me. It's a Bill Williams calculator. What I read is I don't know. It started to give me some psychedelic, trippy answer about how fractals are found in nature, and I don't know, something. It was like I don't know. You can look it up. Bill Williams did it. Bill Williams has a bunch of stuff. I like Bill Williams' percent range. That's a really good indicator I used to use to determine overbought and oversold conditions. I used to have it up on my 1 minute. I don't have it up anymore. I don't like a lot of indicators, even though my screens look super jumbled. It's really not. I'm really just watching price action, and I'm using this stuff as areas to determine support and resistance areas. Yeah, it was trippy, James. When you're bullish, will you change your skin? I thought about that, Austin. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, the program I use for this bear thing doesn't have a bull. I thought about trying to hire somebody to build me one, but I haven't done that yet. I've got too many side projects going on right now as is. Bear trap down here. Broke last week's lows, pre-market lows. Did we break pre-market lows on that? looks like it. Yeah. For pre-market lows, last week's lows down here, and look what happened. Boom. Now that doesn't look like, that's really not that big of a move. If you were trading an ETF or something on it, that's not that big of a move, right? But on a futures contract, that drawdown of 100 points that were coming in, that's 100 points right there in less than like a minute. Could absolutely blow you up. Good job, Todd. Sorry, Todd. I saw stone there, Todd, and I combined Todd and stone into one word. Now we're busting back up to VWAP. Busting back up to VWAP. Todd's taking some scalps. Anybody else scalping this thing? I'm sitting on my hands because I got this fresh, brand new evaluation account that I do not want to damage in the first, or not damage, but destroy in the first 5 minutes that I trade it. And I'm also waiting to 9 o'clock, so we've got a bunch of economic data coming out at 9 o'clock, which I think is going to move some of the markets. It's interesting when I make these red horizontal support and resistance levels on these smaller time frames, and then you look over here like on a daily, it's like, what the f are you drawing? It's like, it looks like a million things, but look how we're hitting that level we drew out before. There's that red level. You can see an immediate reaction to it. I think it's probably going to bust up through that. Again, I would be looking to short it up here at the top of the band. I think it may even want to come up through 13, this resistance and then come up to that band. This is these big impulses that we're seeing on the Nasdaq lately. And then we see a equal and opposite reaction to the downside. Now we've got Delta drop, and this might be an interesting area to short it if you were so inclined. Do not copy my trades, though. Do not short it. Do not short it. This is all entertainment. I mean, I'm saying don't short it. I'm just saying do not follow my directions. You will lose money. You need to get your own trades. Like Todd's taking his own scalps on the ES, which I don't even trade, and he's doing well. You guys can post if you guys are doing well on this thing. SW Blaze picked up 162 on the micro over there on the opening plunge. Nice. If you're not familiar, micros are 1/10 the size of a mini contract. I trade minis, but you can also trade micros, which are 1/10 the size to limit your risk and exposure. And lots of people do that, particularly if you're trading your own capital. You can throw a couple $1,000 into an account and trade micros. Now we got price drop in here. So somebody said the first day they're trading. I'm sorry, I saw that in here. Somebody's trading their Apex. Their Apex first day of their funded Apex account. Who was that? I saw that real quick, but I was too busy talking. Oh, PD Legend, awesome. Yeah, go play golf on Tuesday afternoon till Thursday. Best of luck on the first day trading that account. It's hard to take that first trade. I remember the first time I traded a funded account, my first trade was a massive loser. Not a massive loser, but it was a loser, and it was hard to recover from it. Hard to recover from it. So I'm interested in taking a short here because I think we got this big pop up to an area of resistance. We're now starting to move back down through VWAP. I see cumulative delta dropping down here. One thing I do want to be cautious of is shorting the bottom of it. I want it to get back through VWAP, and then I would probably try to get out somewhere down here. I see a lot of buying coming through here though. So I told myself I wasn't going to trade until 9 o'clock, so I should probably just do that. We got 15 minutes. Tyson's up $222 in the micros overnight. Nice job, Tyson. Archby, I think you're trying to write in another language that it's not coming through. I'm sorry, man. It's just coming jumbled on my screen, your letters. You might be using like a different keyboard or something, a different keyboard template. So sorry, I can't understand your question, if there was a question there. Jojo, one trade 450. Nice, man. Nice. Can we get some more likes on this thing, guys? if you would not mind, YouTube will take those likes and be like, oh man, people like this video, and they'll put it in front of other people who might like this video. And that's one way that I can help, or one way we can help grow the community, grow the channel. It's completely free. I always get some people who dislike whenever I ask, they're like, oh, he has to like it, I'm gonna dislike it. Haha. Don't be a hater. Don't be hating. If you don't like the content, you do not need to watch. It's completely free. Except you do have to pay for your internet connection, but assuming you're paying that for other reasons. Do you know any I'm a full-time futures trader. I only trade futures. I do have a few side projects that bring me other income, but that's basically all passive income at this point. I worked my tail off to get them to be passive for about 10 years. Now I just do this. Drop. Oh, I was in book publishing for almost 10 years. And so I've got a bunch of books that sell, and I just get passive income from that, from royalties. Non-trade related books. Non-trade. They're nothing to do with trading. Sorry, my phone is blowing up here. And now we're getting this move down. I mean, one thing is I see the support area breaking and moving lower. 20 SMA on the 1 minute is going to be support. So it might have some support down here at 52. What may happen is that it comes down, it breaks the support, comes down, hits 52, and then comes back up. Even if we break, why do I have this silly red line on here? Value area low. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take some of these off because they're messing with my head. I drew these out before. I don't know if they're really valid. So I see it now moving down, breaking lower. 20 SMA on the 1 minute is going to be some support. If we get through that and we close below that, so now we're moving there. That short would have been a okay trade, I think. 20 SMA on the 5 minute is going to be support down at 30. We do see Delta moving lower, breaking lower, so that's a good confirmation of that bearish move. But again, with this data come out in 10 minutes, man, this thing's going to be spiking around. I probably just wait 10 minutes. I feel like sometimes when I'm live streaming that I feel an expectation to trade that maybe I wouldn't feel. Try to adjust my daily chart there. If I was just trading by myself, like if I was just by myself, you know, I would do right now, I would just go do something else for 15 minutes and then come back and look at it. But since we're live streaming, I'm just sitting here watching it. That's not your fault. There's nobody's fault. It's my fault. I choose to do the live stream. But you're probably best off just holding out here and waiting to see what happens. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I think this is the most people we've ever had. Is this like 130 people in here? The YouTube thing gives me two numbers. I've got concurrent viewers on one says 126 and then one says 130. I don't know which one is what. How long have I been since COVID crash? I've been a full-time trader. COVID got me in. COVID crash. Great COVID crash of 2020. So I should just do a video of how I got into trading so I can just refer people to that. This story is too long to tell every day. I'm gonna open my coffee here. Somebody just call me Poppy. Who was that? Carter? Did you just call me Poppy? Puppy. When I read that, I said it with a Spanish accent in my mind. Puppy. Carter, if you're new to the channel, you will know that I am fantastic at making trading plans. And my trading plans are like usually pretty right. I am horrible at execution. Horrible at execution, which is something that I'm constantly working on. So we've got these levels marked out. I think it may still want to come up to that upper band there on the 13,000. I thought about, David, I want to keep it free for as long as possible. There's some things that as you keep it free and open, and I'm starting to notice this a little bit, like looking at comments of some of the videos I post or things coming through in the chat, like you want to keep it positive and constructive and people that are like-minded and that are supporting one another. You don't want to open it up to people that come in just to hate or because they're angry for whatever reason, or they think that they're genius traders and they come in here trying to like knock people down, or they're not constructive. So that would probably be the only way that I would maybe begin to, if you're paying even a nominal fee for something, it's because you want to be in there, you want to learn, you want to contribute. And that goes with everything, right? It's like I coach soccer, and I used to do these free coaching things. And what I would have is, just for kids, my kids' teams and stuff. What you would have is just parents dropping their kids off for like free daycare, essentially. And the kids didn't want to be there. They didn't want to learn how to play soccer. And you know what they did? They just fucked around all session. Well, then I had another group of kids who wanted to learn and wanted to be there, and they were missing out because the session was overshadowed by this small, not even small, medium-sized group of kids who didn't want to be there. They, the parents were just like, oh, it's free. Okay, I'll drop them off. So then you start charging something, and those people that don't really want to be there all of a sudden aren't there anymore. And you're able to focus on the ones that really do, and you can provide a better service to those people that want to be there. So. Yeah, that's the other thing, Tom. That's the other thing. Like on Friday, I think somebody posted a comment on Friday, like I was cherry picking that trade I took on Friday. I mean, the trade developed when it developed. Like there's no time on it. Like, but I also am not gonna flip and live stream until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like this is now pushing up. I'm not gonna sit there in front of my computer from 8:10 a.m. until 3 o'clock because somebody paid me $10 to do that. So, I think the pre-market stuff is pretty valid when we come in here and mark out levels, and you can look at the volume profile and what Delta's doing, and we can get, some ideas bouncing around what might be going on. Also look at fundamentals. I think it's really helpful to see, what other traders are looking at what's going on in the market. Like somebody posted here, today's a bank holiday in the UK. I didn't know that. I just didn't know that. So that's really great that somebody pointed that out. And FOMC, I would have seen it on the economic calendar, but it's not like I was thinking yesterday afternoon, next week's FOMC week. I mean, I was doing other stuff. So it's cool to come in here in the morning and people are bouncing things. Oh, sorry, Nico, if it was positive feedback. Sorry. Sometimes that's the other thing, man. It's like some of this is just negative. Somebody could be like positive, and you're like so insecure about it that you take it as negative. So I apologize, Nico, if that comment was positive. And I think I took it pretty much positive, but it was also that I kind of took it as perhaps saying you should be live streaming your trades and not recording them. And maybe that's, again, just my insecurities with doing this whole thing. I'm pretty new to all this stuff. So particularly, I'm sorry, I hit the mic, particularly with the number of views we're getting, which for some other live streamers, and also Tyson, the other thing is with doing the recording things, I don't know if anybody would want to sit through an hour and a half trade that's going on your screen, right? I wouldn't want to sit there and watch a live stream hour and a half trade. Like I like how it goes fast, so you get that condensed 8 to 13 minutes. Now we're popping higher, 8 to 13 minutes of that trade that comes in. You can take something away from it. Okay, this is how that trade went, and it doesn't take your whole flipping afternoon. Yeah, Nico, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for understanding. I just took it wrong. Sometimes when you read comments, like, and it also depends like on your mood. Like I think after that, I think before that I had read one kind of, maybe it wasn't, but one, and so that was just kind of where my mindset was. So I appreciate you tuning into all this stuff. So we're now moving up to that resistance level up here. Again, I think I might be able to get through that and then push higher. One interesting thing is we can look at our guy Wiseman Fractal here. He gave the bearish signal and then we broke higher. You'd have to get stopped out. You can't trade this thing solely on the green and red arrows. It's got to be in connection with something else. What I could say is that one thing that I will just note is sometimes when the market doesn't do what it's supposed to do, that's a good sign of where it might be wanting to go. So for instance, how this gave this bearish signal and then we broke higher. I saw that a lot on Friday when it was giving a bullish signal and it kept moving lower on Friday. That was a pretty good indication to me that, the market's acting pretty aggressively in one way. So as we get this bearish signal here, yet we're breaking higher. We've gone green on the day. Delta, though, looks pretty weak. Again, I think my original kind of idea to try to short it somewhere up here might be coming through. But, if we break higher above 80, which we could do, we get that pop up to 320. Do you want to be shorting, at getting in a position here on a futures contract, having to withstand a 60-point drawdown? I don't want to. So I would want to wait for it to form some bearish structure and perhaps get a move down. Unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of support area down here, like at VWAP. You could wait for, this trend line to break and then maybe try to short it. I can see it come down here, breaking this trend line, hitting the bottom of the band here, finding some support at 1290 and then moving back up. So we've got this economic data, which we have waited so patiently for to come out in about 1 minute. We'll see what that looks like. Fractals think pivots. Yeah. I saw the trippiest video of it. Felt like I was on mushrooms watching it. Felt like Terrence McKenna or somebody. Oh, very psychedelic. So we've got this uptrend line going on this morning. And sometimes what you can do is if you're trying to figure out market direction, looks like that data came out. Let's see what it is. I don't really care what it is. I really just care how the market's all bad. I really just care how the market reacts to it. And so you can see here all negatives. So see how the market wants to react. And that's also why you're seeing this spike. It's these price spikes. I don't know if it's really going to change, a big market mover. Now we're seeing the upper band here on the 1 hour pinching in down here, pinching in. This might be the beginning of a turn to the downside. 20 SMA on the 5-minute for me is a big level during the session. And what I can see here is it corresponds with the value area low of the volume profile. So this for me is a big area of support where price might want to bounce. I'm not seeing a lot of opportunity right now, right here. You maybe try to short it here as, you get this break of the trend line, then move back up, and you get the break, anticipating that we're going to break VWAP and move down. But since I only have a $1,500 drawdown today, I really got to look for an A++++ setup. Because I need it to be a win. Again, we're doing a $25,000 Apex trader evaluation this week. Cost me $75. You can get yours too over at apextradersomething.com. I can't remember exactly what the name of the website is, but there's a coupon code up there. If you're interested in doing one of these, limit your risk. Don't trade with your own capital. Do not trade with anything you can't afford to lose. Because futures trading is extremely risky, and you will lose money if you're new to it. There's no way to get around it. You might as well do one of these evaluations where there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or at least some reward at the end of the rainbow. You know, if you pass it, you do well. You get to trade with somebody else's capital. But if you blow up the account, you already know how much you're going to lose on it, which is already what you put in. So, and we got price pop in here. It's just looking a little rangy right here, guys. I'm sorry I can't give you more fireworks on this thing, but I'm gonna get chopped up if I try to trade this right here. This might be a bearish signal. And you got this attempt to move up, bearish candle to 500 volume, but you could also punch up. We are ranging right now. So if you blow up this 25 account, what happens? I lose the $75 that it cost me to do the evaluation. I could pay for a reset, which I think is like 85 bucks, which would reset my account, or I could just sign up for another one for $75, or I could just give up on the evaluation altogether and trade sim. So there's several options on it, but I know trading today, the most I could possibly lose is $75. And the most I could make on this account is $0 because this is basically a simulated account through Apex Trader. But if I make 1,500 bucks on it, they will, at the end of 10 days, give me a live account to trade off of where I get to keep 100% of the first 10,000, I believe, or 8,000. I can't remember. I get them all mixed up. 8 or 10,000, and then after that, it's an 80-20 split between them and then the prop firm and the trader, where the trader keeps 80% and they keep 20%. So, you know, you do have some skin in the game. There is some pain if you get in a bad trade, or you don't cut your loser quickly enough. Or you decide to add to a loser or whatever. It's 90-10. Thank you, James, for Apex. There's several of these companies. I've done OneUp, Apex, Lilu. Those are the three that I've passed. I have done Earn to Trade and Top Step as well. I failed those, but I haven't done those in a long time. So I think Apex for the coupon, if you get the 50% coupon, it's a pretty good deal. So I'm watching this thing up here. I'm wondering, I see Delta beginning to consolidate in this thing. Like that. Kind of in a wedge. I see price kind of in a wedge. I'm wondering that if we get below the 20 SMA on the 5-minute, if we break this support area, if it's going to open up the bottom here again. And so that's kind of what I'm eyeing right now. This is an evaluation account. I'm doing a new evaluation account. I think I explained in the pre-market that on the live stream, I'm only going to do an evaluation account or a funded account. I'm not going to trade my own capital on a live stream. And what I decided to do today is just do another 25K evaluation. I did pass another 50K, which I've got to trade 2 more days on in order to get that 10-day rule. So I don't want to trade my own capital on the live stream. I feel like it's too psychologically, I'm not there yet to be able to do that. So Uzbekistan, what's up? Interneta, I haven't seen you in forever, man. What's up? Uzbekistan sounds so far away. I know it is so far away. It is so far away. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Where in Uzbekistan are you? I don't even know the capital of Uzbekistan. I hate to admit that, because I feel like I've traveled quite a bit, and I feel like that I and I don't want to say worldly because that sounds too like snobby, but I feel embarrassed that I don't know the capital of Uzbekistan. I'm marking at the bottom of the band here on the 1 hour, this 12,800. I think that might be some support. This is a weird thing because I think if it gets through the 20 SMA here, it's going to want to drop. And typically if it does that, it's going to want to drop down here, but that's through the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. That's difficult for me. Yeah, Garrett, I think I tried to explain that in just a second ago. So yeah, this is an evaluation, 25K evaluation, day one. I am scheduled for a Apex payout this month, so I will let you know how it goes. I get asked all the time about Apex payouts. I'm scheduled for one this month. I will let you know how it goes. I'm sure it will be fine. Argentina here. What's up, man? Yeah, all these levels. This thing is just ranging, guys. This thing is just ranging. I think there might be a drop. I mean, keep waiting for the drop. Yes, it sits in Tom. I love it. Tom is just a wealth of knowledge, which I really appreciate. I feel like people who have been trading for a long time get the psychological aspect of it. That everybody who's kind of new jumps into this thing and they're like, man, good traders make like 15 grand a day. If you're not making 10 grand a day, you're a shit trader. Which is not true. A lot of this, all this trading is going on in your head. All the trading is going on in your head. It is such a psychological game. I've learned that over the last, and I've been trading for about 5 years. And sorry, I got a message here. Gosh dang it. Sorry, got other stuff going on. One thing I'll note here is I would have liked to have seen the 5-minute close below the 20 SMA. We're at the value area low here. We've also got this LVN here. I don't know. I'm not seeing the short on this right here. No way, Tom. A fortune cookie factory? That sounds awesome. Who makes the fortunes? Who makes the things that you write? Is that just like auto-generate? I mean, I'm sure you don't have like a guy in the back making fortunes, like writing the fortune cookies. I'm sure it's, like standard issue. There's probably like a book of fortunes or whatever. But you probably just get them from somewhere, I guess. Hey, Stealth, good question. Yes, I only trade the Nasdaq now. I do swing trade or longer term trade equities, stocks, but I don't do that on this channel. I have that off on a separate thing. So lots of times I take Nasdaq. I take futures. Futures trading is super risky, guys. Super risky. If you make some money in it, and this sounds bad to say, take it out and put it in stocks for longer term investing. Futures trading is so risky. But if you can, get good at it, keep going at it or whatever. But also have longer. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Is what I'm saying. Don't put all your investment money in futures trading. It's short term, highly profitable, also very risky. But no, I also trade equities on the side, and those are longer term things. I mean, medium term things like a couple, a week, 2 weeks to 6 months. I got some stuff I'm sitting on, but I've also got a lot of cash put aside right now, which I'm gonna put back into the market when we decide to bottom out here. Yeah, that's humor. Yeah. So stealth, I was gonna say is I started out trading forex and it was too slow for me, and so I now just trade Nasdaq. So now it looks like we're getting this little drop here. Oh, man, I want to jump in on the short on this, but see if we get through this LVN low volume node. Looks like we're moving through it slightly. There might be a drop here, but I feel like the drawdown on it could also be super gnarly. They could, find a bottom here and pop back up to VWAP, come back down. Good job, Wayne. What you using for long-term trading? TD Ameritrade. I've just got TD Ameritrade account. Thinkorswim. Well, it's not Thinkorswim is the charting thing. I like Thinkorswim. And you can trade futures on Thinkorswim, and I do trade sometimes intraday. If I see something really moving, I'll take a contract in my TD Ameritrade account, but you've got to pay full margin for it. It's like, I don't know, 12, 13 grand. Oh, I guess for this it's 13. Yeah, it's 13,000 for one contract on the Nasdaq. So it might be out of reach for some people. I don't know. Maybe it's not out of reach, but you don't get the margin that you get with TD Ameritrade or with this. Let's see how our poll's doing. Looks like our poll's cashing out. I'm gonna end the poll. Can we get 100 likes, guys? 100 likes? 100 likes? I'd appreciate it. Now, one thing I will say is that if we don't close below the, it looks like we are going to close. See, we're getting the bottom of this band here on the 1 hour is going to be another big support area for it. I think we're going to get some continuation down here to 12,800, which is about 30 points away. Got this LVN that's coming in again here. I'm missing the drop. I'm going to miss the drop. I'm looking to see how this 5-minute closes. I mean, it looks like we're going to close below, but. Maybe too close to the 12,800. I just see this 5-minute closing here. Ugh. Gosh dang it. Yeah, I gotta close out. Maybe didn't get that drop. This is the thing with the Nasdaq. I think it is gonna fall though. I feel like it's opened up to the downside. But that's probably popping up here. 340 loss. It's frustrating. I think it's gonna find some resistance here, perhaps. I think that there's going to want to be some continuation to the downside here. It's just I got in a bad entry. Here it comes. You gotta get out, take your stops. See if we get another setup. Oh, thanks, Brody. I feel like it's still going to drop, but it's just whipping around so much. See what this 1 minute looks like. We've been getting on a better price here. I'm just moving that out of the way. This 1 minute looks so bearish to me. Gosh damn it. Gosh damn it. We're going to get stopped out on this one too. It's probably it. There it goes. Man, I've only got 500 bucks left on this account thing now. That's how risky this thing is, guys. That looked like it was going to go. Look at it. 2 bearish candles on the 1 minute. Bearish candle on the 5 minute. Now we're breaking higher. So I've got about 400 bucks left. $400 on it. Short 30.50. Well, that stinks. Now it's coming back down. I thought she was going to go on this one. I thought it was just going to rip down. It just goes to show you. Gotta be careful with it. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, the only saving grace on that is that this is an evaluation account, so it's recoverable. I think it's going up here. This is really choppy. This is just super rangy. I think we break 91. We'll get that move up to 50, value area high on it, maybe. But no follow through there on the moving down. Yeah, this is why you don't use your own money. What is an evaluation account? So they've got these things on the internet, online, these online prop firm companies, and they offer accounts, evaluation accounts. Well, I can just pull one up. Just pull it up. I should not be trading anymore today. But I can see this 91 breaking and this thing popping up, or it's just too choppy maybe. Now it's looking like it's rolling down. I don't know. I'll just stay out of it for a little bit. So this is Apex Trader. This is the one that I'm using right now. Apex Trading, Trader Funding, whatever. It talks about, you can look at this intro thing. There's a million of these out. Not a million. There's like probably 7 or 8 of these out there now. Some benefits. I mean, you can go to this website and check it out. I can post this in here so you can just click on it. I'm not saying you should use this one. Do not work for them. It's just the one that I'm using right now because I got this 50% coupon, which is pinned up there, and you can come in here and for half off, you can take one of these evaluations. But I think everybody knows what these are. I'll try to explain it really quickly. You pay, it's basically a subscription fee, but you can cancel at any time. So you pay the $147, but with the 50% coupon, it's like 75 bucks. You come in here, they give you a $25,000 simulated account that you're able to trade on. You're trying to make $1,500 on it. You've got a drawdown of $1,500, meaning that if you lose $1,500 on a trailing drawdown, which means that as you make money, that drawdown follows your profit. So if you make $1,000, then all of a sudden the account drawdown is just negative 500. You're still able to lose 1,500, but it follows the profit on it. If you can make $1,500, you've got to trade a minimum of 10 days. And you have an unlimited amount of time to trade. However, you are going to be charged just $147 a month on a subscription basis. Then they will give you the same capital and parameters to trade on a live account. So it's a good way to trade risk-free. I mean, you can see today I've lost $1,000 trading this evaluation. It's day one. I mean, you could easily blow this thing up in a day, just like you can easily blow up a funded trading account. But the only difference is that if I trade this today and I blow it up, I don't lose $1,500. I lose $75. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Um, Man, no follow through on that pullback. No follow through on that pullback on this thing. I mean, this thing looked like it was going to come down to the bottom of the band. Just very choppy today. I'm probably going to call it quits, and I'll probably come back and see if we can't get some scalps tomorrow. I'll probably just end up blowing up this account if I keep trading. Keep trading it right now. It's just too choppy. I'm not seeing the movement that I want to see. There should have been a follow through to the downside on this particular trade. Right here, we see this bearish candle pointing down. Several bearish candles on the 1 minute. Bands opening up down here. This thing should have dropped, and it just didn't. If anything, it looks like a buy right here, but I'm not going to buy it because I'll just get chopped up, and I don't want to get chopped up. So we'll come back tomorrow, try to trade this thing. Tune in tomorrow. We may blow it up tomorrow. Highly likely with only a $470 drawdown, but there is a way. Is it age restricted? The evaluation, is it age restricted? No, it's not. What's up, Wayne? Good job, Wayne. Yeah, I've got a 50K one. Oh, I've actually got to trade my 50K one. So now we're getting that pop up. I thought about taking that buy there, but I couldn't handle another loss. It would have. I can't blow up the evaluation on the first day. I mean, come on. What kind of live streamer would I be if I blew it up on the first day? I would be a very typical trader, I would say. $1,500 drawdown is not very much. You almost want to be trading micros on this thing. But we took our stops. We still got the account. We'll come back, trade it tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow to see if we blow it up or not. Probably will. Should be exciting. We should do something if we blow it up. I don't know what we'll do. But the one good thing to say is I should have my live account on Wednesday. So even if we blow it up tomorrow, I should be able to trade that 50K live account on Wednesday. So we could blow that up on Wednesday. We could just keep blowing up these accounts. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean, you kind of see where this was going to break and then move higher here. We got this downtrend line. Area of resistance. You see all that volume coming through on it. I could have put a buy here at 93, taking it up to 20. I don't know. I just didn't have it in me to have it spike up and then roll down, and then you hit your drawdown, and that's it. So I couldn't do it. Can't do it today. Got to protect the capital. We'll come back, trade it tomorrow. Thanks, Nico. Yeah, it is hard live trading, I feel. But, I enjoy it. I like the community aspect of it. And trading these evaluations, losing $75 isn't that big of a deal. So, it is what it is. And this is the reality of it. I mean, this is the reality of it. If you think you're going to come in and trade, we get 100 likes, guys. Sorry, I hate to keep throwing this in there. 100 likes. Man, this thing's ripping up now. 100 likes. 14 more likes. I'd really appreciate it. I'll give you some old man wisdom on trading. If you think you're going to come in here and just start making money, no problem. You're going to watch some YouTuber who's got some strategy that's going to work, and you're just going to copy that strategy, or figure out some magic set of indicators that's going to always give you a winning signal. I mean, it ain't happening. I mean, it's just not going to happen. There's going to be a lot of pain in your trading. And the one thing that I will tell you is detach yourself from your profit and loss, from your account balance. Detach yourself from all of it. Don't worry about how much money you make. You need to worry about your trading, and worry about just the trading, just the executions of your trading, learning about technical analysis. You're going to have some good days trading. I had a pretty good day on Friday. Today is not a good day. Clearly, it's a chop shit show today. We're, up, down. This is just choppy. Looks like you may want to come up over here on the daily, maybe back up to this resistance area. I don't know, but 7 more likes, guys. I want 100 likes. If I can't, I always said, if I can't make money, I'm going to make likes. I'm going to make people like me on the live stream. Trading is super risky, super duper risky. Intraday trading is super risky. You're going to have good days and bad days. The key is to detach yourself from the trade, from the actual P&L of it. And come back tomorrow and try it again. But if I'm holding on to, the one thing I'll say about the evaluations, which are kind of a mind fuck, is that, thanks for the 100 likes, guys. I really appreciate it. Is that you're constantly looking at your account size. You're constantly thinking about that P&L. You're constantly thinking about that $1,500 or that $3,000 or whatever that value is you have to make. Or, you know, somebody said just a second ago, who was it? Wayne said, you know, he's got $250 to make before he passes it. Being so like attached to making that $250 will be a psychological barrier to you actually making that $250. I remember when I first started doing these evaluations, I was like $100 or something away from passing one, and God, this thing is just ripping up now. And it was the first one that I would have ever passed. I was super excited, and I was like, yeah, $100, I got this, no problem. And guess what? I blew up the evaluation on that $100 trade just by adding to it and adding to a loser, not willing to take a loss, not willing to let my account balance drop below, you know, whatever. I didn't want to have a red day. I wanted to pass it that day no matter what. And that completely blew up my account, just having that mindset. So you want to be super aware of the psychological aspect of it. Over here, you can see I've got my cash value, my account balance up on my screen. You can see that, but I can't see that. It's not up on my screen. I glance over it every once in a while, but I don't sit and stare at it. Yeah. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's 9:30 right now. I'm gonna walk away for a little bit and take a break. This thing looks like we're coming right up to that band. 13,000. Is it going to shoot down from 13,000? I don't know. If I do end up taking any more trades on this thing, I'll record it and I'll take them in probably the same account. I'll just try to keep trading this thing. I do need to take a trade in my 50K one, which I keep forgetting to do. I forgot to do it one day last week. Forgot to trade in this 50K one we passed. But look at this trade. Look at this short I got in down here. I mean, clearly didn't come through. You just got to take your stop on it. Let's see here. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you guys are trading longer, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, 300 points off your lows. That's right. That's crazy. Yeah, James, even you're always trying to wipe out that loss. It's hard for me to take a red day, and it's something that I'm learning to do. So today I'm just going to lick my wounds and take my red day and learn to deal with it. And not get too attached to it. So that's the way it is. All right, guys, you guys take it easy. I will be here. Maria, I've talked about this a million times. I've got a payout coming this month. I know this is super important to you. Chill. We're good. Hey, I'm going to be back tomorrow. Please join us for the live stream. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed about that $1,000 loss, so whatevs. Just gotta brush off. We're now hitting, you know, some resistance up here, and yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye.